Hey everyone, this is Rhonda Rawlings. Welcome to Uplift Upstate. This is the first segment of the new year, so welcome. I hope everyone has had so far a happy and prosperous beginning of your 2021. I can't believe it's almost March, almost springtime, yay. So I just want to give some thanks to some people who helped us out tremendously during our last segments. And of course, I always have to shout out Mance Multimedia. They are the ones behind the camera for me who do all the editing, and they are incredible. So if you need any type of video work done, photography, please check them out. It's at mancemultimedia.com. Also want to shout out SG Media Prints. They were the photographer that gave away a free photo session in our last segment, and David Owens got that prize, so congratulations to David Owens. Now today's segment is sponsored by Mance Multimedia, and it is also sponsored by Black History USA, and I'm going to tell you more about them at the end of the segment. But right now I'm so excited and honored to be sitting with Mr. Jayden Williams. He is a young man who is a graduate of Legacy Early College high school right here in Greenville, South Carolina. He's an outstanding young man. He, like I said, is a graduate of Legacy Early College High School. He is also plays the cello, he plays the piano, he is an author, he is a singer. He is a freshman at Furman University, and he was also valedictorian of the class of 2020. So just sort of a Renaissance young man. So I'm with Jayden Williams right now. How are you?
Yes, ma'am, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great. So you have many titles, and so proud of you for all that you're doing. So talk to us a little bit about your time here at Legacy Early College High School.
I've actually been a part of Legacy since the third grade, and I continued on until my senior year. And one thing I can say about Legacy, I love the community here. They treat you like family, and I enjoyed my time through out being here.
Awesome. It is definitely an outstanding school. The principal, I have to say, is one of my good friends, LaCheryl Smith. So thank you so much for letting us use the facility. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, Jayden, you have done so much, and you are only 18 years old.
Yes,
so talk to me about when you realized that entertainment, the singing, and that type of thing was your passion.
I would say ever since I was a young child, I've always been inclined to participate in music. I would say for the singing aspect, that definitely started in church. I would see all the other praise team members singing, and I would, just aspire to be in those types of groups. And so, the church really helped me to, cultivate that gift. And as far as music and instruments, when I came to Legacy, because all students have to, be a part of music starting off during elementary. So I learned to play the violin during there. And then as I continued on, I learned how to play cello and piano.
Wow, amazing. So can you remember, I know you said you were inspired in the church. Was there one particular song that sort of inspired you, or that you still to this day, I know I have some gospel songs that I sort of like to listen to that inspire me, or that I put on if I'm feeling down. Like right now, I love Joy by Vashawn Mitchell. Joy is also one of my favorite words, but I love that song. Are there any gospel songs that are particularly inspiring to you?
Well, actually, Chasing After You by Vashawn Mitchell was my favorite song when I was younger. That's a song I would always, opt to sing. And I believe it really, helped and really showed how I feel concerning God, and everything that I do, I aspire to put Him first and continue to chase after Him throughout all of my enendeavors. So I have to say that song was my inspiration.
Yeah, it's turning around for me. Another Vashawn Mitchell hit. So Vashawn, I hope you're watching because you are a favorite. So talk to us about some of the songs that you actually wrote, because you have written a couple of really great songs.
Yes, ma'am. I've actually have two singles that I've released. I have one that I released in September of 2020. That's called God Always Wins. And one that I recently released in January of this year is called Surrender.
Awesome. I was listening to Surrender a little bit earlier. Can you talk to us about the thought behind that song? And how would you describe it? it's gospel, but it has like a little bit of a hip hop edge. What inspired you to write Surrender?
I would say my inspiration for Surrender is constantly my goal to surrender all to God. That's how I try to live my life. I try to live my life of obedience, a life of, giving God my all, because the gifts that I do have, I know that they come from Him. So surrender is just a way of, honoring Him for what He's given to me.
Yes.
And the process of that song was just my, personal experience with God. And, part of the lyrics say, Lord, I can't do this by myself. I really need your help. And it's just constantly showing that, I'm casting my pride aside. I'm trying to stay in a humble place and realizing that I need you and I can't do this thing called life without you.
Wow, for such a young man, you have such a great perspective, and I'm sure that comes from growing up in the church.
Definitely.
Because that's something that my son and I talk about all the time, is no matter whatever we have right now and whatever we ever hope to have, we owe all to God. So that to me is the best perspective to have in this life. And the other song was called God Always Wins.
Yes, ma'am. So that song just emphasizes that no matter what situation, no matter what circumstance you may be going through, that God is always the victor. And because He is victorious, then we, His children, have also, have the right to have the victory.
Wow, I love it. So I want to encourage everyone to please go to Jayden's website, listen to his songs. I'm sure you will be so encouraged. Want to give the website address?
Yes, ma'am. The website is jaywillmusic.com, JAYY willmusic.com.
Awesome. Okay. And so also you have written 2 books. So not only is he a singer, you are an author as well. And one of the books is Facing Fear.
Slaying the Spirit of Fear.
Slaying the Spirit of Fear. And that's such an important thing, in our daily lives as well. Because I truly believe that what God has for us is for us, although we may not be able to see it at the time. For myself, even though I make a living right now speaking in front of people, I was extremely shy, and the thought of getting up on a stage or even speaking in front of an elementary school class when I was younger, butterflies just took over. And so, my mom knew that this was what I wanted to do, and she would always ask me, how are you going to be, do the news or be in entertainment, and you can't stand up and talk in front of people? And I couldn't even answer her at that moment. But I did know, even at a young age, that if God put that in my heart, He was going to do everything that He needed to do for me to see it through. Yes. So what are some of the things, Slaying the Spirit of Fear, that's the name of the book. What are some of the things, did you ever have something that was a particular fear of yours, and how did you overcome it?
Yes, ma'am. I'll also have to say mine is kind of similar to your experience. Also, fearing getting in front of people. And I would say that one of mine was, lacking self-confidence and being confident that the things that, I was aspiring to do, that, God had planted it there for a reason. So I believe that, when writing Slaying the Spirit of Fear, it kind of helped me to slay some of those irrational fears and, not be so constantly worried about other people's perception, but, to go off what God has promised me.
Awesome. Okay, and the second book is you're teaching young people or teaching anyone how to get their book published.
Yes, ma'am. As with the other book, my mom helped me co-write. She co-wrote this book, and the book is basically, an outline for those who really catered to those who self-publish, because that's what, I've done with my books thus far, self-publishing. And, we talk about the different things about formatting the book, if you want to, write it in a Word document, how to, structure the book and how to, the different outlets that you can print your book in. And it's just a, variety of different things that we talk about pertaining to writing and publishing your own book.
Awesome. At 18 years old. So this is really just a testament. I think there are so many people out there with so many great talents, especially across the upstate. I see amazing artists and singers, and sometimes people just don't know what to do with their talent. They want to move further, but they don't know how to. And so this is a great, really sort of blueprint for people who want to have a heart to write books, but don't know how to move forward. So please check out the website again, and those 2 books as well. So one thing I did want to ask you, because I did mention that you were valedictorian of Legacy Early College high school. I keep getting the name wrong. So how did you balance all the extracurriculars that you were doing? Because, you know, you play multiple instruments, you also have a heart to write music, and still end up the valedictorian. That's a lot. That's a lot on your plate. So talk to us a little bit. I'm sure a lot of parents out there would want to know, for their kids who have a lot on their plate, as well as young people, want to know, how can I balance those things and still excel?
Yes, ma'am. I'll have to say definitely the best word is balance, and I think it comes from for example, where you place your energy and your time. I believe that time management is very important, and setting aside specific times for not only your education but also the things that you enjoy doing. Because if all your time is put into education, then you won't have time to do what you enjoy, or do your and go after your aspirations. But on the flip side, if all your time is just doing things that make you happy, or doing things that are fun or exciting, and you don't get the education aspect, then you kind of left in a bad place in both. So I believe that just finding a balance, and I believe that balance looks different for everyone. It just depends on how you work it out accordingly.
Right. And I think that could be your next book, talking to young people about how to achieve that balance. Because that's really a big deal, especially now when young people are taking classes, a lot of them from home, online, and they're at home and they can do so many other things, how to keep themselves focused on their schoolwork and still be able to do their extracurriculars as well. So thank you so much for that. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk to our audience about what you have coming up in the future, your website?
Well, definitely expecting more music. I've been writing more, and expect more music on the way. I do plan to get back into writing more books. So I would say expect more writing, expect more music.
Okay. And one more question: what are you majoring at Furman?
I'm planning on pursuing either business or politics and international affairs.
Wow, awesome! But you're still gonna keep time for your music and
yes, ma'am.
And writing. Awesome.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much. So proud of this young man. Please go to his website. Tell me if I get it wrong. jaywillmusic.com.
Yes, ma'am.
jaywillmusic.com.
Yes, jaywillmusic.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And I want to talk a little bit about this calendar. It's Black History USA. And it is an amazing calendar that focuses on some of our great legends in Black history across the world and right here in the upstate. This month, February, Bob Johnson is featured. And then in March, John Lewis, and I'm not sure if you could see it right now, but I'm holding it up. But the great thing about this calendar is it features, of course, a Black history person every month, but also pretty much every day of the year, it gives you a Black history fact. So I love that. When I did the news in the morning, I used to keep this calendar on my wall and look every day at what was happening so that I could announce what was going on in Black history. So please, if you'd like to see the calendar, if you'd like to purchase one, you can go to blackhistoryusa.com. I believe you can also purchase, not virtual, but you can also purchase one that will just come to your desktop and you can see it every day like that. So please check out our social media pages, Uplift Upstate on Facebook and Instagram. We have some great giveaways coming up this coming week, so don't miss that. And I also want to shout out Mill Village Farms. They're doing great things in the community to get healthy veggies and fruit out to the community for low prices. So log on to their website, millvillagefarms.com. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching.